What's up, everyone? Welcome to Sum It Up with the Sumners. I am Katoya, and this is
Damon.
And we are the Sumners, and we are so glad that you are rocking with us and listening to us today as we talk about some old norms of relationships and some new ones. So we're going to kind of process through what that looks like, what that sounds like, and what we talking about today. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're getting into. And as always, we want to say thank you for listening. And we love to hear your feedback. So let's listen to a review.
Yeah. So we got another Apple Podcast review. This comes from this guy, 112-64940. That's definitely not a phone number, but that's a lot. I think it was just when you were making the screen name. Boop, 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 boop.
I'll be trying to decode that.
No decoding there. 5 stars, great podcast. And it says, real funny and entertaining podcast on relationships, marriage, parenting, and more. Very relatable podcast. Boom. That's it. Team, you ain't got to do too much.
You know what? I'm going to redo these as tweets. Because that's what y'all are doing.
That's it.
Y'all are tweeting. I don't even get on Twitter. But I'm going to make them look like tweets.
That's what it is. And we appreciate you. This guy, simple, straight to the point.
Short, sweet, simple, to the point.
One thing we do take pride in on this podcast is trying to be relatable. That's when you come over to our house. We're going to try to relate and just talk about real life. That's one of the biggest reasons why we started this podcast. That's been going for over a year. Which is crazy. Crazy to think about. So, we appreciate that.
I'd also like to just draw one more attention. Damon's always good. This is random because it's just been on me.
Get in there.
Yo, we're almost like close to being together for 18 years.
Which is the more than half. You gotta get the context.
Yes, it's like we're almost approaching knowing each other more than we have not.
Yes.
And that's wild to me.
It is wild to her.
It is really like I'm flabbergasted. Like I'm just like, whoa.
Right now we're currently, as we're recording this, 16 years together, 13 years married. We're almost there.
Like, it's just the fact that Damon's about to turn 35.
Yes.
It's just... 18 plus 18 is 36.
36.
Like, the math is just coming to me.
We mathing, and the mathing ain't mathing right? And
mathing is mathing right, and I ain't feeling right. How old are we?
We old.
Crazy. Sorry. I just wanted to let y'all know.
It's
like,
good.
We've been at this.
Yes.
I feel like, I be trying to discredit us sometimes. I'm like, it's just like, look.
Hey.
No. Hey. 18 years.
Let them know the numbers. Better let them know the numbers.
No matter what you 18 months, 18 days.
Better
share your number.
Be confident as a couple. Come on.
Call back.
You know what it is.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Before we do want to know as well if you reached that milestone of knowing each other, being with each other more than
I
not.
like that.
We're going to put that on Instagram because this is what's important. If you ain't following us on Instagram, you're missing out, right? Sum It Up Sumners. Sum It Up Sumners. Follow us on Instagram. Questions, dialogue. We finna do some stuff coming up in this near future here. We plotting and planning. We're going to be trying to do, I'm just going to give you a little teaser. We plotting and planning. You got to follow us on Instagram.
Now we got to follow through.
We do. When you just say something and then you got to hold to it. I'm thinking about next week I'm going to take you out somewhere nice. And you just like, once you say it, then you got to do it.
Yeah, that's what happens with my middle child. You better.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
She's going to hold
I thought you said we were going.
She's great at accountability.
Here, after here. Well, we were going to. But you
said. No, but we changed it. But you said.
I'm going
to do her like that. I can't wait. Just waiting for the day to just get on her.
Let's get into it. We're talking about old norms versus new norms. We're talking old school versus new school. We're talking traditional versus modern. We in here. So one of my favorite things as we get into this here.
Somebody might think we old school.
Yeah, we are. So if you're 22 and you've been dating for 6 months, you're like, now talk to these old heads.
I guess if I go skirt, then that would.
They want to know what that is. Why is this old lady putting her hand in my face?
That would show me.
Something I don't know where I got it from, but there's nothing new under the sun, so I'm gonna take it for now. Everything new ain't good. Everything old ain't bad, right? Everything new ain't good. Everything old ain't bad. And you can flip that, of course. Everything new ain't bad, and everything old ain't good, right? And so I've been holding on to this mantra and this slogan for the last few years because I think there's a lot of truth in it, in how we kind of navigate the world, jobs, parenting, right? Especially when you think about like just being in a relationship. sometimes it's very quick to throw the baby out with the bathwater because you out here new, you grown, you got your own way of living, you got your own house. This how we gonna do it. But it's like, ooh, slow down, slow down. Everything that we used to do, our upbringing, our past, that ain't all bad, that ain't all old, that ain't all outdated.
Right.
And so I think there's, when you talk about old school, new school, traditional, modern, old norm versus new norms, there's certain things that you have to kind of figure out.
Take.
Yeah, you have to figure out.
So when I look at new mamas, I don't mention them before. I just be like,
new
man,
mamas.
a whole bunch of new stuff y'all got.
Woo, new
like,
stuff.
I don't have those. I didn't have those things. And it was successful, right?
Yes.
But I was the same mom to my mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when I was doing all the new stuff too, right? So, you know, it's just it's a matter of season.
Sure.
It's a matter of what's working for you. But it is true. Everything new ain't good, and everything old ain't bad. I mean, you can literally probably just think of so many different areas in your life that makes sense for. I'm immediately going to parenting, I'm going to relationships, and I'm going to
you know, I went
so
to
much.
Since we're kind of trying to get into the
Teaching,
work, I went into home ownership and job staying.
Ooh,
those were two things I went
stability.
into, right? If you're listening, you're like, yo, my mom or my
She
grandma,
been on the job for 50 years.
my pops was at the same plant for 48 years.
That's what that sounds like to me. Tears and sadness. What
They
the?
stayed in the house when I was 2 to went to college.
She invested.
Right?
What they doing for her?
And
I mean, but there's some beauty in it for some.
Sure.
If it's what you want,
Yes.
it's great. If it's not, you just holding on to it.
yes, absolutely.
Like the biggest charge of my life at a moment was just be a teacher.
That was what you had. Your folks were kind of holding down into you in high school. Was it a high school statement or a college
It was
statement?
really my daddy. I think he was just like, yo.
Hey, if you don't
I was an entrepreneur. It's all good and great, but your mama should steady. You should be steady.
consistent,
Go be a teacher.
Be a teacher.
It's only aspiration in life. I think I said it before. Not for me, but that's the only hope that was my dad was like, that's good. Just be a teacher. And then I was teaching. I was like, what is this? I even did it.
You did it.
Oh gosh, yeah. Anyway, we're so rooted in so many values
Sure.
that like it's not all bad.
Nope.
And there's some good stuff to being stable and finding a good job
Sure.
and finding a trade that you can always bounce back into. Pandemic will tell you that, boo. If you didn't have nothing stable that you could bounce back into,
there's always one classroom,
and you couldn't be the branch off that just made it amazingly successful in this time, then you need to be able to fall back on something.
Sure.
So in our relationships, what can these look like?
Sure. So when we talk about old norms versus new norms, one thing for sure, traditionally, right, we're going to use that phrase several times, that the woman is the main cook in the relationship. I'm using these traditional terms, if you will.
Yeah.
And also the main primary caretaker, primarily of talking about children, right? That is, if you know anything about this podcast, maybe it's your first time listening, we're a family of 5, 3 kiddos here. Katoya is old school, new school. Katoya is the primary cook of the relationship for sure. But specifically in regards to parenting, it's a 100-100 split over here, baby. It's all hands on deck over here.
Yeah, like dad's gonna discipline you. You know the rules. You know. I think we do have some traditional. Like no. I'm sorry. Like we're both going to be the disciplinarians.
Oh,
you know.
You might hear it. You might get it at the same time. You might go to one room, mom come through, bang bang, come around that back, and I might hit you with the same thing or something else. You ain't take the trash out, mom's on you. Then I ask you to do the laundry, dad's on you. Like you might get it 2 ways.
You're going to get the love both ways.
You're going to get the love both ways.
But the thing is, it's an equal partnership in our parenting for sure. But yeah, we do hold some different rules. But I love the idea of equal, parenting. There's going to be strengths and weaknesses in your, in your marriage. Somebody's going to do better at this. Somebody's going to do better at this. Somebody's going to do better at this. But I love to say that when I'm gone, I have no sweat about like, oh, Damon's going to forget this. Oh, let me tell him about this, or anything like that. I mean, we have a calendar. We can both look. We both know. We both stay updated. And we can communicate because, granted, I could miss something on soccer. That's not my area. But Damon don't probably even know where the gymnastics place is, technically.
I don't even know the name of it. I only know Peach Pit. Peach Pit, that's all I know.
But it's on the calendar.
It's on that thing.
We know what is required.
Tag that address. I'll take them. Tag the address.
Exactly. So it's just a partnership.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty in that. As far as cooking, I know he's going to cook, and I do cook, and But caretaker, there's responsibilities that naturally assume, right? But we both parent.
Absolutely. And then, rhythms. When we're talking about this one specifically, rhythms, like you kind of get into routines and rhythms, strengths play a part, this, that, and the other, right? That goes into, we're not going to go into things we've already talked about before about chores and this, that, and the other here.
Right.
But I am intrigued to, like, when you talk about, like, traditionally, what did it look like in your house in regards to either parenting and, like, just looking at your mom and dad's relationship?
Parenting was definitely different. My mom took the lead on a lot. My dad was like I come in as reinforcement. My dad, I can't remember a whooping or
Strong
my dad
reaction?
used to give me a thump.
The
I remember thumps.
The elementary
thump.
thump.
But they were powerful. I don't know what the man's hands was made out of, right? But like my mom, I got whoopings by my mom. I got more, getting onto by my mom and things like that. So my dad played more of a reserved role when it came to the household. My mom took care of most of the household, but my dad did cook. And my dad cooked. My mom cooked majority of the time, but when my dad cooked, it was just something fun and different. Goulash, making pizzas, or
making pizzas.
Oh yeah, we used to like make homemade pizzas. Shout out to that. Come on, High Family.
Come on now.
That was really fun. We did make our own pizza. It was just like not our we weren't that family. It was like we have family traditions and we do this every Friday. But I remember that. So different.
Yeah.
But my mom, I do feel like she carried a lot of that rearing, if you will.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's always intriguing just to hear about that. Let's keep pushing. Old norms versus which one?
You ain't gonna share?
Oh, I mean, sure. I mean, when I say single mom, I live with my mom. Still had a strong relationship with my dad. Things of that nature. So when I was with him, definitely like if you hear how I talk about like manners and respect in my household, my children, it comes from my dad. That instilling comes from my dad with that regards, and so I think that trickles down into how I handle it with being in the classroom, kids in general, etc. So that's one end. And then, being at home with my mom, that was just, she put on both hats, because I was with her 7 days a week many times and most times. So it just kind of, shout out to the single parents out here. Shout out to the single parents.
Shout out to the single parent when somebody's gone away for a while.
Come on, say that too.
A week,
you got a traveling boo?
Yeah, that's real.
Come on, for sure. And that's just, you got to put all hats on deck. Yeah. And you just kind of hold it down that way.
True.
Old school versus, go ahead. Old school, new school here. So traditionally speaking here, the man was like the not just brunt, but like the sole provider. Like when you watch old shows, I used to have a big, first off, I don't know if I said this, I used to have a big crush on Mary Tyler Moore on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Not enough time to talk about that. But it don't matter. What matters is that like you see that in a lot of like classic TV, classic movies, classic media, where the mom, the wife, the woman is at home, right? Boom, 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 doing roles. And honey, I'm home. And you kind of come in and there's a meal. I mean, even modernly, I think about Everybody Hates Chris, right? Like a little more updated in the last like 25 years.
Yeah.
Where it kind of feels more like that. Go ahead. Like, I'm just saying like now, not even just us, like society. 2021, when we're recording this episode, I think the mindset is, let's be clear, it would be dope for, I would assume most men who want to take care of their family, specifically speaking, to be able to be in a financial position where that is an option. But I do think just the mindset and the brunt and the pressure and the weight kind of has shifted. What do you think about this one here?
So off top, I think even just going off top, if we stick with everything new ain't good, everything old ain't bad.
Fair.
You taking this one or you leaving this one? Is this something you feel like needs to still be in place, or something that you think is progressive out of it today?
For myself, I desire and I would love for the day where we don't even have to like think about the necessity of you working. We're not there now. That would be a lot, which means that career-wise, I'm cooking, and then also family-wise, I think we're just in that spot.
So you're like, You take that on and you see that as being
yes.
like.
I am trying to bust my tail to
Yeah.
get to a point.
Yeah, I think most families feel that way, right? Like the man is like, I gotta do, but that there is that time, right? One thing I love, Tabitha Brown recently just kind of had this situation in her marriage where, you know, her husband's been holding it down while she was trying to pursue so much, and then now she's blown up and she's like, yo, you ain't even gotta do that. Why don't you just stop doing what you're doing and start doing something you enjoy? I'm going to pretty much take the weight of us now because I can.
And you were there for me in the midst of.
Exactly. We've been together for over 25, 30 years.
Right,
I think, the oldest child's like 25 or something. So it's like, and society, many people have so much to say about that because now she seems to have reached some type of fame. And so now in this way, it's like, oh, you gonna let this man ride you? Yeah, that's real small thinking. We've been together did you see these old pictures? Did you see us when we only had one car? Did you see us when we had food stamps? Did you see us because that's what we've been through when he was holding us down, right? So
when that audition didn't go through, when that book deal didn't land.
When he let me pursue my dreams so that he could do that. Because why? That was supposed to be his responsibility. You know, in our lifestyle, we both still need to work in order to keep up with what we desire to live at this stage. There has been sweet moments when I was a stay-at-home mom. It was beautiful. I knew it wouldn't last long, but I think there's a time, if you are in a healthy relationship, this principle does not have to be so, as long as you can come to that communication. So I think, yes, society today still believes the man is a sole provider, and I have absolutely no problem with that. But I do think it's beautiful too if the woman can be the sole provider and this man supports, loves, he pursues something that doesn't make that much money. But there's such a tension with that.
Definitely in society.
But I do think that if your marriage can
if you got a strong relationship and healthy, and y'all have worked and talked through that,
I don't think it has to be a problem.
Not at all. Not at all.
If your relationship is done well and cared for and loving one another and supported, then this can be so. But it is so. Everything new ain't good, everything old ain't bad. It's like, this is up to you, in my opinion. But I do think that we fought for a lot of, rights as women that, I wouldn't mind just, cooking and cleaning sometimes. I wouldn't mind decorating my house all day and cleaning and pursuing my own small little dream. Like, whatever. There is some beauty in knowing that you are well taken care of, but then there is this power in being on it yourself and pursuing your dreams and being an entrepreneur. That's all beautiful. To each his own.
To each his own. I want to add another thought on that, but we got to take a quick break. We'll be back.
So I don't really love to cook as the primary cook in this family. However, what I do like is to jazz up the meals when I do cook, right? I'm looking for spices, seasonings, dry rubs, and I found a good place. It is Artisan Dry Goods made by beautiful Briny C. So a little bit of everything to spice up, jazz up your meal. It is a local store right here in Atlanta, but ready to ship out to you all over the world.
Absolutely. And they're legit. I'm going to be honest with you here. Forbes, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Oprah's magazine. And you know Oprah only going to promote the good stuff, all right? So check them out. Instagram, beautiful Briny C. Make your kitchen better. All right, I'm talking about real good ingredients, urban gardens, local farms. So it's good for your taste buds, good for your body. Check them out, and let's get to the episode. All right, we're back. Check them out. Beautiful Briny C. All right, so I just want to add, because those were all side, it just made me think about, we talk about everything old and everything new, like even just the ability for the woman, the wife, the spouse, etc., to have the opportunities to go get it. Like, there are so many, like, women have come so far, still have a long way to go, but they have come so far with even just opportunities to get a chance, CEO, COO, and blow up. Absolutely. So now just that freedom to be able to go get it. You know what I'm saying? And so, how many great women do you know, just period, like on your level, celebrity level, whatever, who are killing it and crushing it? And if they've got somebody who are supportive and they're ambitious as well and, going hard for whatever the case may be, like Issa Rae, for example. She got married recently.
I don't know what her husband did. I don't even
No
know his name.
idea.
He could be a millionaire.
He could walk by us today.
Don't know. He'd be running on the street.
No idea.
I think I've seen him twice.
Right. He could be a CEO of his own business.
He very well could be.
No idea.
Nobody
But if
knows.
I'm killing it, I want the support. I want the love. I want the encouragement. So I think that's
let's
all.
just say he don't make as much money as her. But she still was like, that don't matter. I'm good. I'm doing what I love to do.
I'm doing what I love.
And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And you support me.
Yeah.
And you love me. Like I don't need you for your money.
Right.
I need you for everything else.
Yeah.
Because the money, I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I enjoy.
That cup is full.
I'm good.
That cup is full.
Everything, as long as you let me operate in this enjoyment, and then we come together and be even more dynamic, and that's big scale, right, Issa? But like any small scale, if it's working for your family, and you as a husband can truly come in and support that, man, you a bomb dude, right? Because you know how to support your woman even in her success and not intimidated by it. Because I really think a lot of this is rooted in his pride, right? Like for a man to not want that, you know, you could be intimidated by someone's success. Now, if a man doesn't want that just because he's used to that classic man provides, we just got to figure that out together, because it shouldn't have to be something that's difficult for a relationship, honestly. If you can, there's so much more than finances to worry about, right?
so much more than
you
that.
can learn. You can be amazing chef.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, now I play dolls with my daughters, like stuff that you never even imagined would be possible because you got more time and flexibility to do so.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them on this list here. We're talking about old school, new school. That there's so
Flip
much
these norms
different.
on their head.
Flip that bad boy upside down for
I
sure.
believe in that. I believe in that for every last thing pretty much on this list, and I ain't even fully understanding that list. I just don't think that roles have to. We've talked about roles. Roles don't have to be something that's set in stone. Roles are what you can do and what works for you and your family. And honestly, the support to allow each other to break these norms in your relationship is like a whole nother level of trust and understanding, because you're not letting society dictate what works well for you in your home.
Yeah, definitely. Woo. You felt that? Did you feel it?
I feel it.
I felt it here in this room.
Because this man right here is the best clothes folder I know. Okay? Don't nobody fold clothes better than my husband.
That's funny. That's very funny.
He is amazing. He is a great dad. Like, and we don't always grow up with those type of examples of like man. And then when you do step into some roles that are different or some norms like this, then now it's like, oh, that's not masculine enough. That's not what a woman should do. Says who?
Says people.
Do you even,
back in the
how
40s.
is your marriage? Are you married? Why you got all these comments to say about what working in somebody else's house?
Yeah.
I'm done. Soapbox over.
There it is.
Next.
So this was one somebody said the other day, and we kind of giggled about it. I'm gonna jump around for a little bit.
Okay.
Something to the effect, but you know, traditionally, again, I use a lot from what I know, experience, and then you know, culture, movies, media, whatever. The sleeping on the couch, the doghouse. One, I always laugh because it's always one way streets, right? It's always the guys in the doghouse. It's always the guys on the couch per se, right? Never the other way around. We're not gonna get into that.
That is really true.
We're not gonna get into that because we know it's silly, right?
Well, it's like almost, it's too rude for a man to tell their wife like, you can't sleep in his bed tonight.
Like, you were wrong, Jessica. You were wrong, and we're upset at you. Go sleep on the couch.
Yeah, that is a very stigma thing.
But for us, old school, new school, that is something that like unintentionally, but like now, like it is like said, like that is not. Doghouse is just a thing. People just being upset. Yeah. But like sleeping on the couch because we got in a tit for tat, that is not something that's
no one's sending anyone anywhere. Let's just say that. Now, if you decide,
if you decide,
on the couch, that's your choice.
That's a whole other thing.
Is there a doghouse? Sure. Turn my back.
Yes.
We do not really talk tonight. That is possible. But we're not finna just be like,
take your pillow and your blanket to the sofa.
What is this? Yeah, we don't. That's not how we operate, right?
The honeymoon? honest.
But what I will do, I will dismiss myself if I don't want something.
Yes.
I'm not gonna sleep in there night. I mean, I don't know if I probably have.
You probably done it like once.
Yeah, but I watched
years.
TV intentionally and fell asleep on the
Yeah.
couch. Like I'm gonna remove myself.
And then
And
even
I'm
in my
still comfortable.
frustration, in my, you know, even if we're both upset, it's 2 a.m. All right, come on, babe.
Oh yeah.
Come on, babe. Come on. Hey, get up. Latoya.
Or you know, like even the fact that you got to try to resist not to cuddle because you're supposed to be mad.
You lean your butt over, so then you just really 50-50 on the bed.
I definitely have been like, I'm still mad, but I just want to cuddle.
Absolutely, because she would have tried to shake. You know, she's a shaker, and I'm like, I hit that shoulder because I'm not trying to.
He ain't trying to shake. He over there dwelling, but I still do it.
Yeah,
he gotta go to sleep in some way. My leg gotta creep up over at one point.
They be trying to creep on. They be trying to creep on.
So now there's no doghouse. I mean, and maybe for your sake of space, some type of way, or maybe there's just such a disappointment that's taking place in your relationship where you're like, there have definitely moments like I do not want to be around you. I'm walking out.
For sure.
I'm finna go run an errand. Like
Absolutely.
I need space away.
Absolutely.
You know, I told y'all the other day, I just talked to the kids and I was like, why y'all the only ones who think y'all get y'all own room? Why me and daddy don't people sharing rooms?
Y'all each want your
own room and then I'm sharing with your dad. That makes sense to you? No, it doesn't. But it's this idea of like, yeah, we need space. I mean, you're in the same room, you're sharing the same bathroom, you're sharing because that's what we do.
Yeah. But
you know, at the same time, you need separation in moments, and so if that is something you do, I guess so. But I say
for the Sumners, nobody sends anybody anywhere. Simple as that. What else we got next?
Next, I think it goes right in line is like never go to bed angry. People say that one, you know, and the biblical senses to it too. So I think it's impossible. You're going to be upset some days and the conflict won't be resolved, honestly. Like, I mean, if you are somebody who's resolving your conflict by the end of each day, that's great. Now, maybe you put yourself in a better situation, your better mindset, a one step closer to resolve. But there's going to be nights when you're like, Lord, I pray that he sleeps well and wakes up, but I do not like him, right? Like, you always want somebody to be safe, but you still can be mad.
Hilarious.
True.
I got into debate, for lack of better words, on Twitter with some dudes primarily about, I had said something about like if a fight, I don't know if it was a question or a statement. I'm usually I kind of make statements on Twitter. I just give facts. But I said something to the degree of like, if we have a spat at night and it is unresolved, when we wake up, ding ding, like it's still there, like the cloud. And all I was saying was like the cloud and the fog around our relationship is still there until it's resolved, until there's reconciliation.
You just moving.
And they were like, nah, whatever was unresolved, not to my tier 1, to my tier 2s and below issues, is over. It's done. I was like, no, that ain't it at all.
Who do that?
Y'all just, if we went to sleep.
You was talking to nothing but shakers. That's impressive.
If we went to
Even
sleep.
as a shaker.
If we went to sleep with unresolved tension.
That's not going to work.
With legit unresolved tension, and we wake up, it's not just going to be a minute like, hey, babe, good morning, get over here. What you do? There's still a weight.
There's a little something.
No, like
even
a little.
some of it you can play off of. Like
some,
yeah, you're like, you know you was wrong yesterday.
Right.
Whatever way you want to hit it.
It's gonna be either
something needs to be addressed. It should be. Let's just say that. Folks who just acting like it didn't exist, that mud about to boil up and become something even bigger.
No.
So yeah, you just can't just sleep it off.
You can't.
This ain't a headache.
No. Let's get
some rest with
for sure. Keeping up with the Joneses. First up.
Who are the Joneses?
Who are the Joneses? How have they been around for 100 years? And everybody has been trying to keep up with them.
And like, how did they just set that precedent?
Why did they keep up with the Williams? Or the Jacksons are really people we should have been keeping up with. They put out 10 albums with 5 boys. 10 albums, people.
I want you back.
We don't.
Please stop looking left and right.
I
know it's hard.
If you're gonna look left and right, it should lead to, instead of bitterness, resentment, and envy, it should lead to encouragement, motivation, or sharing in their success, like celebration. That's what I was looking for.
Keeping up with the Joneses is more like a look up and down. I feel like when you look left and right, you're looking with your peers, right?
Peers.
You're like, is we all in this together?
You
and it's a lot easier to like get with people like that, right? They with you, they
Yep.
understand you, you're
Yep.
on the same level.
Yep.
You know, you excited for them,
Hey,
stepping up a
get
little
it.
bit. They coming in your foresight a little
Uh-huh.
bit. They going into your peripheral
Yep.
as they trying to increase. You can look left and right, and that's comfortable. But when you look up and look down, this is when I'm thinking what you just said, like, let that encourage you. Not just trying to keep up with the Joneses because
Yeah.
they up top.
Yeah.
But like, man, that's some. I see how they working
Boom.
hard. I see how they pursuing their dreams. I see how you take encouragement. Way easier said than done in some
Way
cases,
easier
depending
said
on
than done.
who you are. But you know what I do like to do? I like to look down.
Come on, talk about it. We sleep on the looking
I'll be like,
down.
dang, man, I done came a long way. I was there, bro. I get it. It's gonna be okay. All right? It's
Look
gonna be
down
good.
more
Man,
often.
Damon, we were really there.
We were there.
Man.
Pregnant, homeless with an air mattress.
Man, sleeping on folks' house and couches, man, that was, man. Because then you get a whole lot more appreciation for where you are.
Come on.
Forget the Joneses. And if you do, I love to look up too. So I be like, that
Okay.
I have some aspiration.
Okay.
I know two, 3 more steps so I can be in somebody's peripheral.
Yeah.
Easing on up
Look.
out of their sight on their
Look.
left and right.
Get in there.
Yeah, no, you have to think about that a lot, especially in this world of social media, because social media try to take you on. You just be like depressed.
Set just one swipe.
5 swipes.
One swipe. Everybody on vacation on a Tuesday? Who on vacay on a Tuesday?
Oh man, I saw this girl on Instagram today, and I was like, God, dog, what kind of life is this?
A fake.
It's trips.
Listen.
Man, it was
Listen.
beautiful.
It be looking good.
I know. She's
It be
single.
looking good.
She's single. And that's good for her.
It's great.
But I love being in my marriage.
You know, it's so funny, like, and then we're just kind of, for a quick second, because it's really true, looking up, looking down in social media. Like, that is one thing traditionally, old school parents, grandparents did not have to worry about.
Yeah, the social media
Like,
pool.
you know, all you were getting were, like,
News.
celebrity information.
And that's just like way over
But
there.
you weren't really, if they didn't have a house or a car beside you, you didn't know what your friends
It
were
was
doing
gossip. Gossip.
Yeah, but you didn't see what your
All the
friends were doing
time.
3 blocks away.
And what they only want.
Well, you know, Roger, they
And
got a new car.
consistently.
Roger had to drive to your house to see the new
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think there's
No,
something
true.
to be said in that when you're trying to quote unquote keep up. It's like, yo, keep up with yourself. Keep
Yeah,
up with
set
your
your
budget.
own goals.
Keep up with your goals. Forget the. I don't know 2 families last name Joneses. I know 1, and we're not that close. They're great people, but we're not that close.
I do only know like one good family with Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Keep
I
it up
know
with
know
them.
too.
Keeping up with them.
I mean, family is a big word. I know like somebody last name Jones.
Keeping
I don't
up
know her
with you.
family.
Don't know you.
Nah, it's
I don't know what
true.
your saving. Oh, what's your credit score? I
Don't
don't
look
know.
left, don't
Your
look.
marriage is
I mean,
like
don't
internally.
look up and down. Look always, but let it fuel you.
Fuel.
Yeah, but don't let it cause envy and anything like that. Don't be trying to keep up with nobody. 'Cause,
Nobody.
Yeah, you run yourself dry.
Yeah.
Bad credit, no call,
Upset.
relationship bad.
Bad.
Just,
No fun.
no.
No sex.
Yeah,
All
just be
bad.
where you are today. Continue.
Probably got time for another one.
Right.
So this was one for sure. Traditionally, old school, new school. Like, the man does not show and express feelings and emotions. This was something for myself specifically that was attention in the Russell. My dad is mushier and more emotional than my mom, and apart from that, really, I did not in my family, in my life, with all due respect, in my life, and especially in like media culture, didn't really see that a ton. Now, if you know us, you know Pretoria's family just in general is much more expressive, physical, verbally, with emotions, highs and lows,
Yeah, too much.
than mine here. But like this one here, when you talk about old school, new school norms,
Yeah.
the man was just kind of like, when you talk about my man really don't talk and kind of share,
Yeah.
this was real.
Mm-hmm.
Or you think it's much different now, or on a scale, moving in the right
I
direction?
feel like we're moving in a better direction, just like, you know, in our day and time, just like with the whole push of self-care, mental health matters, with, you know, more
Very true.
counseling, more therapy.
Very true.
Yeah, it's becoming more normalized, which is really helpful. And I know it's definitely becoming more normalized for women. And I know that women are you want to get the word out. You tell a woman, right? And so a woman
make
is
that up?
no, I did, but I don't. I'm sure it exists. But like the point is, like
funny.
you start sharing, and then you be like, oh, I got my husband in it. I'm trying to get like everyone wants to feel good, and when you feel good from something, which sharing your emotions does allow for release, then it helps, right? So I feel like we're all becoming more aware in that regard. But I did grow up with more affection and more love, and like verbal for sure. I'm pretty sure most of my family is words of affirmation.
Oh yeah, I definitely said that.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yep. And so we just be, I mean, and it's dangerous. It can be for words of affirmation or words of defamation. It's
Destruction.
like, up and down. Hey, you! But I love you. You know, like we'll jab you too, and then hug real tight, and then lay down. You know, so it's just, I do think that men are becoming a little bit more emotionally aware enough to share their feelings, I hope. And I hope that women as well are being better listeners. And like the bro love. Like y'all, we've been watching Dave. We finished Dave on Hulu, and like literally tears on the last episode because it was bro love.
Bro love was
I mean,
real.
like I kept telling Dave, he was like, it breaks my heart. Like to tell your BFF, it breaks your heart, and like to just be vulnerable, because I think it really is meaningful man to man.
Absolutely.
Of the vulnerability, right? Because that's your brotherhood, that's your boys, that's like less normalized hugging. Men are like, I want to give my brother a hug, you know, like it's not something homophobic or anything. It's
real love, sincere
real,
love.
It's sincere.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think we are moving into better places with that.
Absolutely.
I hope so. I'm speaking as I'm a man,
No.
but I'm just
share more, love more,
Yeah.
fellas. We gotta do it. That's how we prolong our life. We've been dying too early, statistically here. You know, with the heart. Let that out. Share love more. That's it. Old school, new school. You know what it is, man. It's so much here. We're gonna be talking about these questions this week on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Sum it up, Sumners. Sum it up, Sumners, all together. We're going to be diving into this more. Old school, old norms, new norms. Everything new ain't good. Everything old ain't bad. We good, though. Sumners, we'll talk soon.
bye.